time on Sailing Tellaroo. Sean and I took a break from Tellaroo to make a commitment to one another. We became forever young.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over.
Hey y'all, welcome back.
Today we're talking all about sailboats.
Now y'all might not realize this, but it is believed that the first sailing boats originated in Egypt over 6,000 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Now back in 2021, there were about 100,000 sailboats registered right here in the good old US of A alone. So with so many thousands and thousands of sailboats out there, y'all might be wondering just what were the exact boats we were hunting for.
And as y'all saw in our previous videos, we showed you a few boats at the Miami International Boat Show, and then we took you along on a tour of a Stevens 47 up in Daytona Beach, Florida. And then we showed you even a few more boats at the Annapolis Boat Show. And then things got really real.
That's right. That's when we took you along as we hopped on a plane and headed down to the beautiful island of Curacao in the southern Caribbean to pick up our awesome Naod 440 and sail it all the way back across the Caribbean to Miami. But what we didn't show you was the hours and hours, the days and days, and even months and months of research and scouring the market that we did before we bought our boat. So today, we are going to reveal the top 6 boats that we seriously considered and were on the hunt for during the search for our blue water cruiser.
All right, so in no particular order, let's get started. The first one on our list is the Mason 43. The Mason 43 made its debut into the sailing world at the Long Beach, California Boat Show in 1978. It is a true offshore sailing yacht designed by Al Mason, who had worked for 3 famous yacht designers. And those designers were John Alden, Philip Rhodes, and Olin Stevens. Al Mason even taught naval architecture at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis. The boat was built at the Tashing Boatyard in Taiwan, and the Mason 43 was known for its quality over quantity build, and its construction has been described as bulletproof. And that's why the Mason 43 made our list of top boats we considered in our search for blue water cruisers.
And next up on our list is the Cambria 44. Now the Cambria 44 is a relatively little known high quality blue water yacht designed and built by David Walters. There were only about 18 Cambria 44s ever built, and they were each built to extreme high quality standards, and it has been said that David Walters himself personally oversaw the construction and delivery of every single Cambria ever built. Now, y'all might not know this, but famous Superman actor Christopher Reeves even commissioned a Cambria 44 for himself. So, once again, the sheer beautiful lines and overall quality construction landed the Cambria 44 a spot on the top of our list as we searched for our blue water cruiser.
That's right. The Cambria 38 is next on our list. So the Cambria 38 is a beautiful boat full of just lovely teak woodwork. It was designed by Bill Krelock and built in San Jose, Costa Rica. It has a long keel and is known for its sturdy seaworthiness, solid construction, and sheer beauty. Blue water sailing expert John Kretschmer wrote that the winsome Cambria 38 draped in teak inspires dreams of quitting your job and sailing to faraway places, and we could not agree more. And that's why the Cambria 38 was one of the top boats on our list as we search for our blue water cruiser.
Next up on our top blue water cruisers list is the Bob Perry designed Passport 40. Now the Passport 40 was built over there in Taiwan where they made about 148 of them. The boat has a strong fin keel with a protected skeg hung rudder, and now that was very important to us.
Oh yeah.
Now on the inside, the Passport 40 is filled with beautiful teak wood finishes. And at sea, the Passport 40 has been described as predictable, swift, and nimble. Now, professional expert sailor and author John Kretschmer says in his used boat notebook that the Passport 40 is a top quality, world-class cruising boat that can punch your ticket to see the world. Those qualities are the ones that put the Passport 40 in the top boats we considered in our search for our blue water cruiser.
Yes. Next up is the Helix 44. This boat was introduced in the U.S. market in 1985, and it was built by the Queen Long Marine Boatyard in Taiwan, and is essentially the smaller sister of the Stevens Helix 47 that we toured up in Daytona Beach, Florida a few videos back. This boat has a strong, long fin keel and a protected skeg hung rudder. Professional sailor and former head delivery skipper for Helix Yachts, John Kretschmer, has logged thousands of miles aboard the Helix 44 and has even sailed one through the eye of a hurricane. John notes that the hull shape is definitely one that will not pound in the seaway, so its design, strength, and sea handling are the reasons that this boat made its way in the top group of boats that we considered as we searched for our blue water cruiser.
That's right. Next up on our list is the classic Stevens 47 that Amber just mentioned. Now, the Stevens 47 was designed by Sparkman and Stevens and built by the Queen Long Boatyard over there in Taiwan. Now, according to legendary, world-renowned sailing expert John Kretschmer in his book, The Used Boat Notebook, the Stevens name in the Stevens 47 didn't even come from the Stevens as in Sparkman and Stevens. Instead, it was actually a guy named Bill Stevens, the founder of what was once a Caribbean yacht charter business named Stevens Yacht Charters. Now, Bill Stevens was so taken with the Stevens 47 that when it was first designed, he told the Queen Long Boatyard that he'd buy every single one of those 47s they could build. Now, there were only approximately 56 of those Stevens 47s ever built. Then, another Caribbean yacht guy came along named Dick Jackney, and he ran an outfit called Caribbean Yacht Charters. He started buying those 47s for his fleet, and he, along with the Queen Long Boatyard, renamed the boat the Helix 47. Now, later on in 1992, the original Sparkman and Stevens design of the deck was slightly redesigned and a swim platform was added, and the interior was upgraded, and the boat became known as the Helix 49.
Woo.
Now, legendary sailor John Kretschmer writes again in his used boat notebook that he has sailed many thousand ocean miles aboard Helix 47s and 49s and has even weathered 3 different hurricanes aboard them. So the original history of the Stevens 47, along with its near bulletproof construction, are what landed the Stevens 47 a spot on our list of the top boats that we were hunting for in our search for a blue water cruiser.
That is so right. So, with 6 great, extremely seaworthy blue water cruisers at the top of our list that checked all the boxes of what we were looking for, you may be wondering why we didn't buy one of those boats and just how in the heck did we end up with an awesome Nayod 440 from Sweden.
Well, y'all, the story goes like this. Back in late January 2022, Amber and I just got back from Aspen skiing, and we got the harebrained idea that we were going to buy a boat and prepare for a circumnavigation around the world. And after doing our research and getting our list of top boats together, we began scouring the market trying to find a boat. Now, COVID really changed the boat market across the world. Many people decided during COVID just to buy a boat and live on it, to get out and get away. Well, this resulted in a real seller's market for boats that was still going strong in 2022. Now, after spending all those hours, days, and weeks searching for the right blue water sailboat, every single time, now I'm not kidding y'all, every single time I would pick up the phone and call about a boat, I immediately got this response: it's under contract pending sea trial. It's under contract pending sea trial.
Yeah.
I heard this over and over and over. We had been searching all over the continental United States from coast to coast and literally could not buy a boat. I never seen anything like it. So that's when I began to think that maybe, just maybe, we should start thinking outside the box and look around the world instead of just here in the good old US of A. Now, with that thought in mind, I had already done research on Scandinavian boats and knew that they were excellent, high-quality sailboats built for the open ocean. So we began to zero in on 3 Swedish boat makers, Halberg Rossi, Malo, and Naya. Early one morning, I was sitting there at my desk scouring the good old interweb, and I had the idea to reach out to a European broker to see if they might know of a Swedish boat for sale. So I sent an email to Burton Yachts in Sweden and told them what we were looking for. And believe it or not, about a week later, I received a response from a Burton yacht broker named Magnus Kullberg, who actually worked at the Nayad yard for about 12 years before he became a broker. He said he'd keep my contact information and let me know if he found something. He also sent me a YouTube link to Ron Sailing, a Swedish couple who were sailing a Nayad 440. Now, we had already actually been following Johan and Mal and the brand Sailing and knew that they had purchased a super awesome Nayad 440 and had made extensive upgrades to it. Now, old Magnus over there in Sweden told me in this email that he thought he might have a Nayad 370 coming on the market, but he wasn't sure and would keep me posted. Then, about 2 days later, while sitting there at my desk, I received an email that started it all for us. Magnus said he'd been in touch with Johan of Ron Sailing, and even though it wasn't on the market, Johan and Malin might consider selling their amazing Nayad 440. Now, I couldn't hardly sit tight in my chair. He gave me Johan's contact information, and from there, as crazy as it may seem, we made a deal with Johan and Malin to purchase Ron 2 with no survey, no sea trial, and we were comfortable with this because we'd spent hours watching every single YouTube video on their Nayad 440. We knew it was an incredible boat. We knew that Johan was an incredible sailor, and Amber and I didn't waste any time. We hopped on the plane and we were off to Curacao to meet them and their beautiful baby girl, little Vera. Now, they had just finished sailing their awesome Nayad 440 all the way across the Atlantic from Sweden and then down through the Caribbean to Curacao. Amber and I couldn't be more fortunate and grateful to have the opportunity to buy this amazing, awesome Nayad boat from some incredibly genuine and incredibly nice people, Johan and Malin.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
And so there y'all have it, the story of how Ron 2 became Tellaroo.
That's right. Make sure to like this video, comment below, let us know what you think, and hit the subscribe button because we do post twice a week right here on YouTube.
See y'all next time.
Next time on Sailing Tellaroo.
We are walking through Santorini right now. It's packed.